I looked down at my arm, and this is it was the worst of the bunch, but that was cut so deep, and I just see blood squirting. Probably a couple feet squirting.
Sean Lowe is detailing the scary moments when his dog attacked him, not once, but twice. On March 17th, the Bachelor alum posted a video to Instagram with wife Catherine where he shows his injuries that left him bloodied and with stitches. He explains on March 13th, he was grilling when his smoke alarm started going off in his home, which somehow appeared to trigger his dog Moose.
So on Thursday, I was having some friends of mine over to barbecue. Catherine took the kids to the mall, and we're just barbecuing here on my patio, and it was a really nice night, so I had the doors and windows open, and some of the smoke from the barbecue started to drift inside, and our smoke alarm started going off. And so I grab a dish rag, and I'm going over to and I waft the smoke away from the smoke alarm because the siren was insanely loud. And as I'm holding the dish rag, Moose comes up and like bites it and kind of nips my finger really aggressively, which is something that he does not do. So, I kind of gave him a no, Moose. And again, the siren's just blaring. And then he goes and starts to bite my feet. And like he's kind of done this before, like if you have a herding dog, you're probably familiar with this, where they kind of nip the heels, but he never really bites. Well, he was biting my feet so hard, he actually put holes in my shoes, and it was hurting my feet. So at this point, again, there's so much chaos going on with the alarm going off. I give him like a very stern, like, Moose, no, no. And it was right about that moment where he shows his teeth at me and just attacks me. And I don't mean like bite and run off like a lot of dogs do when they're scared or defensive. I mean, attacks me. And I feel him just kind of ripping into the flesh of my arm. And at this point, I am doing everything I possibly can just to fend this dog off. And I'm over here in our hallway. There's a couple double doors over here. I'm trying to get him out the double doors. And I know I'm bleeding badly, and my friends don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to get him out the door. I finally am able to get him out the door into the backyard, and he comes back through the door and attacks me for a second time. And I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I honestly just felt like I am fighting for my life here against a dog. No, not just a dog. My dog, right? Like he's my dog. So I'm finally able to get him out a second time, and my friends who are here shut the door behind me. And I look down at my arm, and it was the worst of the bunch, but that was cut so deep, and I just see blood squirting. Probably a couple feet squirting. And so my first thought is, I think that dog may have nicked an artery. And we have the video, which the video is way too violent. I'm not going to share that. But you hear me saying, this is serious. You got to get me to a hospital. Call Catherine. And I thank God that my friends were there, because they were able to rush me to the ER. So I go to the ER, and they stitch me up in 5 or 6 different places on my arm. All the while, I still am just having a hard time reconciling what just happened with my dog. And I get home. My friends had corralled Moose to the backyard, and they cleaned up. There was, again, I've got photos of this too, but a literal pool of blood on our floor, like nothing I've ever seen.
The family had welcomed the dog into their home recently. In a post shared 9 weeks ago, the couple shared pics and videos of the new addition to their family, explaining in the caption that their kids had asked Santa for a dog and that they had adopted the 7-year-old rescue boxer.
Who are you riding to? I want a dog.
To who? Who's this for?
Santa.
You're a child, yes.
Do you know what you want for Christmas? What would you like?
A dog.
A dog.
What? Jingles. To Mia, White, Isaiah, and Samuel. It's from Jingles.
Well, read it to the kids.
I'll read it to you
It's to
guys.
everybody.
What does that say?
Banjo?
Banjo needs a loving home, Santa Claus. Who's Banjo? Wait. Is that a different elf? Wait. It's a new dog!
Who is that, Ricky Doo?
Sean says before the attack that the dog had always been affectionate.
We've only had him for a little under 3 months, but like, he's my dog. I walk him. If I run errands, he goes in the truck with me. When I get out of my chair, my kids don't like it because he follows me. He doesn't follow them. Like, it's my dog. All he's ever wanted was affection. Earlier that day, I had a video of him just putting his head in my lap while I'm working upstairs, and he just wanted to be pet. Like, that's my dog. And so it was so bizarre. Like, why is my dog, who I know loves me, attacking me so aggressively?
He goes on to reveal the dog attacked him a second time less than 24 hours later.
So the next morning, and again, I'm confused, I'm heartbroken, but I know with what just transpired, obviously I can't keep Moose in this house. I've got young kids and I've got to be concerned about my own safety. So I'm talking to our local animal control, and they connected me with a great officer who happened to have a boxer, so he was very sympathetic, and we were just talking through the different things. I called our animal adoption agency where we got Moose. I was looking at the various no-kill shelters. I was just trying to figure out the best plan of action. And this officer actually said, okay, make your calls and then call me back. We'll figure this out together. Like, he was super helpful. And we kind of told my parents what had happened, and they said, hey, we're going to come grab the kids so that you can rest and recover. And so we were super grateful for that. And so I'm waiting in the front yard for my parents to show up with the kids. They show up, and we're getting the kids in the car so that they can go with them. And the next thing I know, I hear a no, 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 no. And it's Catherine from inside the house. And I look at the front door, because I'm standing in the front yard, and I see Moose running out the front door. So apparently we had these double doors open for that barbecue, and we didn't lock them, I guess. And it was really windy that day, and the wind actually blew the doors open. And so, you know, going through a dog attack is pretty darn traumatic. Having to relive it less than 12 hours later, seeing that dog running straight at you is a feeling that I don't think I ever want to experience again. Not to mention my arm was just useless because it was all stitched up and I was having a hard time moving it. And so there's a split second where I'm looking at him and I'm just praying, like, please let it be the friendly Moose that I know. And he made a beeline right at me and just lunged and started attacking me again. And again, we've got video because we've got cameras outside. And I'm just saying, no, no, no. And then my dad is in the front yard too, and I'm like, help, help. And I just, again, feel him ripping into my flesh. And again, I'm not trying to exaggerate. I certainly don't want to come across as like a victim or anything like that. I'm just telling you how it happened. And so I'm able to wrestle him to the ground. And this dog is so strong, he's so explosive, but I'm able to wrestle him to the ground. I've got a hold of his collar, but I know that he's ripped my arm open. And I just know, like, I'm fighting for my life here. Like, I feel like if this dog gets up, he is going to kill me. Again, it's so bizarre because it's my dog who I was literally kissing on the head just a day prior. And my dad comes over, helps the best he can. My mom is in a panic. She's shouting for the neighbors to call 911. The kids got into the car, and then we were very fortunate that the kids did see Moose attack me, but then a neighbor came out and quickly ushered them into their house so they didn't see anything else. And then it took me about 10 minutes of laying on Moose, and it took everything I had to control this dog. And like, I'm 220 pounds. Like, if it were anyone else, like, he would have killed my children or my wife. But I was able to hold him for 10 minutes until the cops came, and then the cops had a hard time gaining control of him. And so, yeah, that's what happened. So he got my second arm, and so again, we had the cops and ambulance and everyone else here for the second dog attack, which resulted in another trip to the emergency room and more stitches.
Despite the scary attack, the former bachelor says he doesn't blame the dog and that they do miss him.
I say all this to say, like, we've been really transparent over the years on social media. And like I said, you guys, I'm sure, would ask questions about Moose. Where's Moose? Or why are your arms disfigured? So I just wanted to let you guys know what had happened. But overall, I'm super thankful it was me. And I don't blame Moose a bit. And I know this has been really hard for my wife to reconcile. And by the way, she's been the most amazing caretaker over the past few days. It wasn't Moose's fault. I think it's clear, experienced a lot of trauma before we got him, and had something neurologically wrong with him where just a switch flipped and he turned into an absolute killer, which was so weird. But I don't, like, he really didn't show any signs, and he was great around my kids. He was great in the house. He was just an affectionate, lovable boxer. We love boxers. I called the rescue group and told them what happened, and you know, they're doing great work over there. I don't blame them a bit either. There's a lot of great dogs who need to be adopted, and I'm certainly an advocate for that. But even they admitted, like, there was a past there that they were not privy to. So anyway, I'm super grateful it was me and it was not my kids or my wife, and that I made it out relatively unscathed. You know, have scarred arms for the rest of my life, but I can live with that.